Hi, guys. Welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast. I know you think you're crazy. It's not Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and we are got a live stream tonight. This has kind of worked out better for Mr. Boris's schedule since he's halfway around the world, or probably, halfway around the world. Couldn't be all the way around the world because that would mean you're here with me. So but anyways, we got an interview tonight. I'm super excited to talk to Boris. He's the owner of, and it's Ridy, right?
Ridy, correct. Yeah,
Ridy. Okay.
nice to be here, Jason. Thank you
Yeah.
for inviting.
So I'm really excited about this. Before we get into this, as you know, I've been a gig worker since 2016 and done rideshare, and we had a company called Cargo back in the day, and I was like, oh, I was so excited for that because like I'm an entrepreneur by heart, in my heart, and I think about like how I can make extra money while I'm doing rideshare. And Cargo's like, yes, I'll sell stuff. I'll sell anything. If I can make some extra money. And so I put my name down for Cargo, and I got really excited. And then they went out of business before I even got a chance to get a Cargo. So when I don't know how I found your site, Boris. I think maybe I found it on Reddit somewhere. I don't know. Found it. Maybe it was a sponsored post. Who knows? But when I found it, I was super excited about it, and we talked about it for like 10 minutes. And so I'm glad we finally connected and that we can talk about your service. So thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you for inviting, Jason. Indeed, like it was kind of a mail actually from you a few months ago. So yeah, why not to come to our podcast, and finally it happened. So yeah,
Yeah.
great to be here.
Yeah.
So how do you want to start? I mean, I can introduce quickly myself, and then we can go into how actually this all mess started, and then go to some demos you promised in your previous YouTube post, I guess.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your background. Have you done gig work before? Why and like why did you decide to make this for rideshare drivers?
Right. I mean, I myself actually, I mean, as you clearly see, co-founder of Ridy, but at the same time, I'm a technology professional and entrepreneur as well. And on a broader experience, basically, I'm also research and development professional and leader in a corporate world. Um, I kind of started to work quite early in my career, and then apparently I worked in a few kind of very interesting jobs, like, I mean, basically loader, few funny jobs in restaurants and pubs and clubs, but closer to the graduation, like in 2010, I got more into technology and R&D work. So I worked in a few science technology startups, worked in electronic startups, and moved to international companies and worked as a R&D, research and development professional and leader. And then basically over my career, I worked and lived a lot in Asia, and I traveled across multiple countries, like basically from 2015, in Indonesia, in Malaysia, in India, China, to say a few. To say a few. And in every single location, I saw drivers who are trying to increase their earnings, like to increase their income by some interesting means. In many cases, it was like sales in the car. So
Yeah.
basically, they put the stuff on the front seat and trying to sell you something, and then for cash. So it wasn't super attractive
Right.
at all. And like cash was a bit cheesy as well. So what I mean, I was a technology guy. I was like, what kind of technical solution can help them from one side to get income, but from
Yeah.
other side to make it a bit more attractive for me. And in 2019, I guess, I called my friend Peter, who is actually a technology professional, and he's a developer and programmer. But at the same time, he's a driver as well. He was a driver in, like, that time it called Yandex in Russia, but apparently it's Uber, was Uber at the time. And then so we just teamed up and then created a few different prototypes, test them. And Ride is actually outcome of this creative collaboration between us. And yeah, since that, the company become a bit bigger, and then like now it is in Singapore. But yeah, it's a bit like, that's basically a bit of a story how we set up the business. But again, like, can tell more, but time is limited today, right?
Yeah. So I think what you said, you've been traveling a lot, and so you were in different countries, and they would try to sell you stuff. Is that very common on that side of the world of like these guys that are doing the ride share are like always trying to make more money and like was it pretty common in every car you were in they were trying to do that?
I would say it's like 20 to 30%, but it was very common.
Yeah.
I mean, in Indonesia, in Bali, it was quite often, right? Maybe it was in particular that time when, to your point, Cargo started, and they sparked this, I guess, creativity in the drivers. And then, like, it was pretty obvious and visible in India and Indonesia and Malaysia. I haven't been to this place since like COVID started. Not sure whether it still continues in the, but yeah, it was pretty common at the time. At least from my eye.
So if you're watching the live stream or if you're watching it later, you'll see on the screen that Boris has a actual device in the picture, and we're going to do a demo in a little bit. Like you can actually do a screenshot and go through the whole process on that. But so I see it's much cleaner. I see it's on the back of the car where cargo actually went on. You can even see on your picture the armrest right there, which would be kind of annoying. Like the car that I have now, I don't think it would fit. I think it only would really fit in a big SUV. But tell us why you decided to go the back of the car or back of the seat versus something in front.
I mean, technology solution itself is, I mean, it can be basically between two seats, and then that we actually tested and piloted this box between two seats, and it worked like not bad. The problem all the time is with the sales in the car. I mean, you need from one side to satisfy passenger, from other side to satisfy driver and make it safe as well.
Yeah.
And like with cargo, obviously always, I mean, we call it, sorry, what's the name? Anyway, so cargo is not only the one, right? So we had vending, we had grab and go in Asia, and like it was almost the same thing everywhere. But what you need to do is you need to open the stuff, you need to give product yourself to the passenger, and then somehow get cashback or somehow to get the SMS. So it didn't like serve the passenger well, because like when you're a passenger, you don't want to basically driver to handle your product, like at least in your eyes, like in front of you. At the same time, you don't want to speak a lot with the driver when you want to buy, at least in many cases that what we heard from our passengers. And at the same time, driver doesn't want like to be, at least in our Eastern Europe journey, like didn't feel that being this is like, it's not like a vending device, what cargo did or what we did in Russia, like more like you become a seller. So which was not super prestigious thing in Eastern Europe. And they decided like, we don't want to go in this. So what we realized like it's important to have some level of automation. And then in order for you to make something automated, you need to place it in front of a driver and then in front of a passenger, and it should be somehow flat. And then the car seat concept appeared. I mean, we clearly can make it between two seats. We can make it as a box, but that was more obvious and more kind of clear solution. While the main, I guess, difference is here is, I mean, we allow drivers, I mean, to be the owners of the shop, right? So like you can sell whatever you want, and that's the difference between centralized model of cargo, grab and go, or vending. So like when you need to chase drivers to give them products and then like basically manage all of this logistics, which usually very difficult to manage, and then all the time it's either out of stock or is not like working well. So that's why we kind of come up with automated solution in the marketplace. So basically driver become an entrepreneur, and then like he or she can sell whatever they want. So basically that's what the concept.
Yeah, that's the big difference is you can put whatever you want in it. And going back to the cargo thing, well, it's also not safe. The guy's trying to drive and get the product out. Like we need your eyes on the road. It needs to be completely automatic to be beneficial, and the least amount of hassle is ideal. So you did say, you already said that, you know, people can put their own product in it. How do you guys make money on your end if we're putting our own product in it?
I mean, at the moment, we don't make any money.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, I mean, in reality, you can clearly see a few different business models here. I mean, from one side, we sell devices, we get fees on the marketplace. We also kind of plan and work on advertising and promotion of the product from companies who want their products to be displayed there. So like basically 4 different potential streams. Our main one clearly at the moment is like if we have many drivers and then we have little fee there, that would be the main business model. But it all depends on the service model, right? So if we take, for example, Eastern Europe, where because of the Soviet Union past, they have like big centralized park, which lease their cars to drivers, and the drivers come all the time back to the park and like for the maintenance, for some other kind of things to do there. So then you have the centralized model where park become like a business kind of entity, and then they kind of work in a centralized manner. And they don't need to sell devices. They just sell their products and they get margin on the products.
Okay.
So in case of decentralized places like United States is a clear example of that. Like when you have huge geographies covered by multiple drivers, so decentralized model works better. In this case, clearly, it's very difficult to chase every driver. So in this model, it would be fee. So yeah, I mean, if you're talking about this particular model, fee is the primary one. And devices apparently is not that cheap. So we need to kind of co-invest into that. So that's why we don't make money on them at the moment at all. So yeah, that's like to answer your question, maybe.
Yeah, so if I wanted to get a device, and I one of my questions was, is in the States yet, and I don't think it is, but I know you're working on it for this spring. But if I wanted to get a device, let's say it was, or I was in Eastern Europe, or what would that cost for me? Like $50, $100, or?
I mean, at the moment, and I'm not sure whether it's very well displayed, but let's see. Let me try. So I'll try to display something on my screen. And by the way, guys, forgive me for my voice. I just got recently some flu or COVID, and then like my voice is a crap there. So yeah, just give me a second here. Okay, devices. So we have a few options at the moment, and at the moment, all of them are kind of sold for $49 for the United States. So basically, this is our classic proposition, which is like contains 10 pockets. We have at the same time silver, which is a bit more luxury because of the finishing and the materials there as well, $49. That's the price. And then delivery is free at the moment. And we also have some discounts as well for early subscribers, which are already active. And I'm sure we'll have some promotion here too, I mean, for listeners of this particular podcast. But yeah, that's what we have. And we as well planned and still thinking about launching something called something called Prestige. So which is more like very premium option for luxury cars.
Yeah,
and then
it just
it
looks
doesn't.
cleaner.
Yeah, it looks a bit cleaner. At the same time, it's a bit more difficult and more expensive, right? So this original early subscriber price was like $99, and then like at least when we don't lose that much amount, that amount of money, it was like $129.
Yeah.
So basically that's the price there. Yeah, in many cases, I mean, this is below the actual cost for delivery and production.
Sure.
So yeah. So that's to answer your question.
So, and then also I remember reading on the website, so you charge a service fee for each purchase. So let's say I want to sell a Monster energy drink, which here in the States, I love Monster, but I mean, energy drinks in America, it's like it goes hand in hand, right? So, if I want to sell it for $5, I have to, and I buy it for $2, I make $3, but you have to take a little bit of off the top for the processing fee. What fee, what percentage is that? What are you thinking about as far as in the States right now?
At the moment, I mean, it's clearly displayed at the website. So it's 5% fee, which we take from Ridy. At the same time, like we have so many early subscribers which managed to secure 3.5%, like just because they're early subscribers. We at the same time have quite an interesting thing for referral. So basically, if you invite your fellow drivers, so you can get 0% fee from Ridy for 6 months, and as many drivers you invite, like as many years you can have without any fee. So that's what we have. And then at the moment we're in a growth stage, so that's why like we are not profitable and don't plan to be so. So we just need to have a scale, and at the same time we are not we're basically self-funded. And what we are trying to avoid is to get some investors who will push us to have fee higher. So our intention is to make it as viable as possible and cost-effective for drivers. And so that's our ambition there.
I was gonna say, I do like that you're charging a little bit, because I feel like, a lot of these things, it's good to have what I would say skin in the game. Like, you're an entrepreneur, you got to spend a little money to make a little money. I mean, and it's not absurd. If you told me that thing was $300, you'd never, people wouldn't buy it. You know what I mean? They would just be like, nah.
Exactly right.
I mean, how long am I going to take to earn my money back on that? If I'm selling a $5 Monster, I buy it for $2, so I make $3, then I give you 5%. I mean, that's a lot of Monsters to earn that back. So, but I still like that you are charging a little bit. I think that's totally fair. And if people are fussy about it, then they don't know what being a business owner is.
I mean, that's right. I mean, in reality, the biggest problem with such gig economy things, and you know this very well just by being Uber or Lyft driver yourself, right? So I mean, fees is something what the companies which provide the gig economy live from, but like what is important as well is like from one side you cannot make it too high because it will not be very interesting. But
Yeah.
the biggest technology challenge on our side, at least as developers, like we need to make sure there's a, I mean, non-fraudulent transaction
Yeah.
managed at the platform. And it's not an easy thing to make the payment in a gig economy, right? So you need to facilitate the payments, you need to send it to driver in this case, and then like so all of that is not an easy job in reality. And so what we basically have here is a fees for transactions which are made cashless. If you want, you can sell for cash, and then you don't have any charge, right, from us.
Of
Like
course.
that's also an option. But in order for us to run something like Stripe, in this case, the Stripe is a company which facilitates all those transactions. Like we need to pay them, and that's the fee basically, which facilitates and helps those transactions.
Okay. So why don't we do the little demo thing? Well, I will do it on my end, and we can try it,
Yeah,
see how it
let
works.
let me try. But I can try just at least to manage a few things here on my side.
Yeah, take your
So
time.
this is a device, by the way, so I hope you can see it very well.
Yep.
I mean, I left a few pockets empty just, I mean, for the sake of fun later, but you can see like all of the pockets are very well locked, so you cannot enter them unless you really, really want to. I mean, like
Yeah,
you
I
can,
mean, yeah, if somebody wants to get into them, they're gonna get into them. I mean, it's
yeah. If you have a if you have a weapon, I mean, nothing would stop you. But apparently, I mean, that's reality, right? So we're
right.
trying to make it as cost effective as possible, as secure as it can be for this price, and then apparently it's very secure, right? So you cannot open that unless you just really go with your knife, but that can be a completely different story, right? But
Right.
in our practice, it never happened. But anyway, so this is the device. This is the QR code. So I'm sure you're not able to see it, right? And
Probably not that one. You were gonna pop one up for me, right?
yeah, I will do one. So for people who are watching, like that's usually what is displayed there. At the moment, you can see the site called dev.ridy.club, which is development infrastructure. So basically, it's not a physical website. So everything what happens there is like not charged. It's completely free. So if you enter there and see prices, don't worry. If you like getting if you pay for something, it will not charge your Google Pay or Apple Pay or card. But anyway, so you can enter this website. I can make it even bigger for you if you are not able to see it. So this is the QR code. Jason, do you want to scan and buy something or?
Yep, I'm in the store right now.
Okay, so if you guys who are online, if you open the store, that's what probably you will see. I'm just presenting now at the screen. So you will see like a normal online shop with different products there. Some of them non-physical, which we provide. Some of them are physical, which you put into your device. And basically, you can choose whatever you want. You open. I mean, you pay for that, and then one another cell would open. Tell me when you finish something.
All right, I'm gonna go buy something right now. Put it in my cart. Comes up pay with Stripe. Click on pay with Stripe. And the best part, I love as much as Android phones are, you can do more with it. I love Apple Pay. It's the best thing in the world. I hate every company that doesn't use Apple Pay. I get fussy that I have to get my card. So I'm going to use Apple Pay right now.
Okay, okay.
All
I'm a
right.
bit into Android for sure. But yeah, you can basically pay if you're Apple user, you pay with Apple Pay. Something open. Let me see what you bought. You bought M&M's, is it correct?
Yep.
Oh, oof. But yeah, so let me. Sorry, I
Yeah,
forgot.
let's try it again so that people can see it unlocked
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you kind of had blocked. I'll buy something else.
Please do so. Anyway, so it just got opened M&M's. I will keep it open anyway, because I would need to refill it in the application now. So M&M's wouldn't be available.
All right, so you're gonna have to put the QR up code again and then bring it back down because I got to rescan it.
Okay.
All right,
Let's do
hang on.
so.
Okay, you can put it back down now. All right, let's do this. So add it in the cart, Pay with Stripe. Apple Pay. Man, this is quick. And then hit processing, and you should hear it unlock.
I'm sure Peter, who is watching, like he's very happy with the things working very fast. So we set the special development kind of.
There it goes.
Sneakers. Did you?
Yeah.
Sneakers. Okay. It's yours. Like when I meet you.
I mean, like what? Literally, what was that? Like less than 30 seconds. That whole process. I mean,
our target is 6 seconds.
6?
Like if something. Yeah, 6 supposed to be 6, but I mean the whole process from selecting and yeah.
Like I scanned the code, I chose what I wanted, I went to Apple Pay. I mean, this seemed like the website loaded quick. I am at home on so I'm not on like cellular. I'm on my Wi-Fi, but it still seemed incredibly fast.
Right. No, I mean it should be very fast. I mean in reality, just the website connected to you, and then basically the website sends this information to the database then gives the information back to your phone if you're a driver, and then like basically it opens this via Bluetooth. So that's in a nutshell how it works. I mean it sounds pretty simple, but a bit of technology behind. Like this is actually what is inside of this device, like a bit of electronics, but yeah, it works very well, and so we are open for all the orders.
So I had a question pop into my head, and
Please.
you may not be able to answer this, but what about liability if the driver decided to put alcohol in that container and then he's still, I mean, you're doing that, like I'm controlling the device, but it runs through your system. I often wonder if you would be at risk liable. I mean, obviously I'm doing it. It's illegal. We can't just sell alcohol in our car in the States. Like it's totally legal on our end, but I would just be curious if there would be an issue on your end.
Yeah, I mean, true. I mean, from one side, our definitely there's a liability to us, so we need to control at least in some way that what is sold there is safe and legal. And then alcohol is not the craziest idea which came to us via request on the new products. But yeah, so that's why whatever you want to sell, you will need to submit the request to our database. We review it, and then we authorize one another product to be sold. Alcohol clearly is not allowed in the United States to be sold, neither via vending, nor even if you have a shop without a license, I guess, and that's why it will not be possible. Maybe there are some way how to manage it, and then if you prove that you are able to do it, and then you have all the legal authorization, then you probably will be able to do it. But again, if you don't have anything specific there, we probably will not allow this product to be displayed.
Oh, so that makes sense. So like when we're setting up our store, we're putting in like a shot of Jack Daniels, and then you're gonna like it probably one transaction would go through, or maybe I don't know if you have technology to block it, but they'd be like, hey, you can't sell this. Like, what are you doing? And you could shut the store down, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, once you can submit your product request, right? So like what you like, for example, I want to sell, like this is a bit of another demonstration here. I have a two promo kind of offering here in those red pockets, which are pretty popular in Asia nowadays because of the Chinese New Year. And I want to kind of put them into the device. So, and then basically what I already ordered, I already submitted those products in the database, and then our admin like approved them. So how this how it would work basically. I kind of refill. Yeah. So I open those and I put them in. And now I'm not sure. Like if you go back to the store, you probably will see those products appearing in the shop.
Yeah, give me
the QR code. Right.
Give me the QR code again. I'll go take a peek.
Oop, here we are. By the way, guys, if you're watching online or offline, so those promo codes will be available there. So if you open them, enter your email, and then there will be some nice kind of perks for people who buy them. So Jason, don't buy those things. Like just only say me whether they are there or not.
Okay. Yeah. So I will get charged for these.
No, you will not. You will not.
Oh, okay. But they
It
are
just
in there. So you're
they
saying that like the driver is going to have an app to be able to put all this stuff in, or they have to do it on a desktop?
I mean, this is what I do. So this is my
Oh,
app. So I put whatever I want, and then I kind of now can sell them. The only thing I can put what is approved in the database. So
gotcha.
basically, if I want to sell something completely out of the box, so it should pass through our authorization process. And if we see something suspicious there, then we will probably not allow this. But
Okay,
that's
so
how
if
it
I
works.
if I go into the database and look for Jack Daniels, it's not in there. I would have to submit it to you, and then you'd be like, "Yeah, bro, you know, we're not gonna. You're not allowed to."
Correct, correct. So
Gotcha.
we will have a database of all the barcodes, right? So which are available in the US. So if you have a general product which has the so-called EAN or barcode, so you just
Yep.
basically scan it and it appears. But if it's
Okay.
something special, like it probably will be difficult to kind of go to get something automatically into the device. I mean, to be displayed in your shop. But yeah, again, it should pass through the authorization process
Okay.
for legal and kind of safety purposes. I mean, again, it's not the craziest thing to sell alcohol. We had like much more worrying kind of requests as well.
So what about getting my like a customized device? Is that something that we can do? Or is it just pretty standard, the three things and that's it?
I mean, we have those three things which are pretty standard. We
Okay.
can try to find a way to play with the colors if scale allows. So
Okay.
basically, again, our mission is to make it as cost effective for drivers,
Right.
right? So and then one of the problem we face, like those devices require investment. So it's investment into the mold form, into the plastics, into electronics and so on, and also into delivery. So it's a very big portion of that is a delivery price.
Yeah.
And in order for us to do it, we need to bundle them together. Like you need to produce one big batch, you need to sell it all together in one container, and then distribute in the United States.
Yeah.
So if you want to make it viable and cost effective for a driver, then definitely, I mean, it's very difficult to customize. At the same time, if there are some big players who are trying to put something on their, on their fleet, which contains multiple cars, then you probably can do it. So
Okay.
and then that would definitely increase the price
Of
somehow, but
course.
this is individual conversation. So if you're interested in that, listeners, you can submit your request at info at ridy.club, and we will have a conversation there.
One other question, just randomly, I'm looking at this picture. What is this white thing sticking out on the upper left of that?
I mean, this is the prototype there, but in reality, this is the cable, right? I mean, the
Oh,
wire.
okay.
Oh, let
Yes,
me.
the picture I'm looking at has like it looks like an antenna or something. Oh, okay. So that's the actual.
This is the one. I mean, I'll
Gotcha.
turn it off, but this is like basically it's a normal USB, like only
Yeah.
one wire you have, and then you turn it on into your USB socket in the car.
Okay.
There is another way, basically. I mean, those devices they don't consume much power at all, so there can be very little battery inside and could work for like 2 days without any charger. But because of the logistic challenges and then all of the controls on the borders, it's very difficult to sell devices with a battery without significant increase in the price. So we're trying to go first without the battery option, and then you can power it via your
I
USB
might I
socket.
might I might suggest so USB space in the car is limited. Like I run a dash cam, I run 2 or 3 chargers cuz I have a tablet and I have 2 phones. Have you ever
Right.
thought about putting a little pouch on the back that somebody could put a battery pack in where they could just
Oh, I
slide
mean,
their battery pack in?
in reality, I mean, it has already thing on the back, so there is a pocket on
Oh,
the back side, so you can put whatever you want there, and then the power bank would perfectly
yeah.
work there. So
Yeah.
that works, and then like it's easily become a bag, sort of like how to, okay.
Yeah. Very
So you
cool.
can carry it. But yeah, you're right. So I mean, we were thinking to put actually the battery in, so you just charge it for like 5-10 minutes, and it works for entire day. But then probably it will be in the next batch. Just the fact that logistic is a nightmare.
Well,
So
yeah,
that's why
trying to ship something with a battery
lithium,
like that is it's a game changer, I'm sure overseas.
and it's a different category of goods as well. So
Oh,
which
okay.
makes it a bit more difficult.
Well, if there's any I don't have any more questions. I'm super excited about this. I love how clean it is. I know it you said earlier it sounds so simple. It doesn't to me. It's actually fascinating. in that short amount of time that I mean, I'm 47, so like I grew up in the non-internet age. It's just like something can bounce throughout the world in 30 seconds and bounce to this little device in my little car and open up. And it's just, to me, I don't know. It's fascinating to me, but um, I, I
Thank you
just,
for that.
I just love all that stuff. But is there anything else you want to add before we sign off here? I really appreciate your time.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, a few things, I guess, to wrap it up. First of all, if you are the listener of this podcast, I mean, we created a special promo code. I'm not sure whether Jason you would put it in the description,
I
but we
didn't,
wanted.
but I will be adding to all that when I'm done here.
So it's called small letters, the gig economy. So if you are a listener of this podcast, like you will basically get 25% off from the device displayed, from the device price displayed at the website. As I mentioned, referral program at the moment is active for this first batch for the US. So we will not we're not planning to get significant income there. That's why like we say, okay, the more drivers we have, the better.
Yeah.
To ensure the price is low. So that's why if you invite your driver friends and fellows, so then the overall fee you get will be zero from us. So that's who we are. And in addition to that, the website is displayed now, I guess, in my window called ridy.club/driver. So if you register there, and then you basically select your service plan, which is either Ridy Classic or Ridy Silver, and then it redirects you to the shop, so where you can buy actual device. So this is the way how to actually get device in the United States. So apply the promo code in the Stripe checkout, so it will be available there. But beside that, again, it's a great pleasure to be here, Jason. Thank you for inviting us. Again, we are open to do it once again if you have any additional questions. But it's a great time as well on Saturday for me to go and have a bit of a relax before the working week starts. Actually on Sunday. So like we have extended working week here in Asia just because of those Chinese
Okay.
holidays.
Okay, for sure. Well, again, thanks for coming on. When I sign off, just stay in the room here so we can chat. But I appreciate everyone listening. Yeah, check out order that thing, man. You might as well make a little extra money while you're driving around. So,
oh yeah. By the way, those pockets contains additional discounts, guys. Feel free to buy them
okay.
while like we offline. But
Okay.
anyway, see you everyone. Have a
Yeah, sounds good.
safe drives on the roads.